Grassroots Gazette, from the ground up, where football lives and breathes. Join us as we explore the heart of the game. This is Grassroots Gazette, from the ground up.
Enthusiasts, today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Dave Cole, a dedicated coach and avid Spurs fan who contributes to the vibrant world of grassroots football. With his expertise, commitment and genuine love for the sport, Dave has woven a remarkable path in grassroots football. Join us as we explore his experiences, obstacles and victories within the beautiful game. Welcome, Dave Cole.
How you doing, Dave? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Lovely. Let me just put your volume up just a little bit. Okay, welcome to the Grassroots Gazette. We're going to get straight into it. So the first block is going to be personal questions, yeah? So the first question is full name, nickname, and socials.
Full name, David Coles. Nicknames, I've been called Colesy, DC, maybe a few other things I can't repeat on here, but those are the two main ones. Socials, davidm.coles on Instagram, and I think Dave_Coles on Twitter as well, if you're following on there.
Lovely. Okay. How old are you and where are you from?
I'm 39 and I'm from Southwest London, turning 40 in a couple of weeks. I'm trying to put that to the back of my mind.
Yeah, I'm 40 as well. Don't worry, you'll be coming to the club. It's okay. Who do you currently coach for and where are they based?
I coach for South London Laces. As you can imagine, they're in South London. We train in Bermondsey and play down in Barnes.
Excellent. Okay, so let's get into this now. Who or what motivated you to start coaching in football, shall I say?
That's a really good question. I was never the best footballer, to be perfectly honest. So coaching seemed a more natural step for me. So I've been coaching for 10 years now, dedicated once a week, but I even did coaching before that whilst I was still playing, as I really wanted everyone to be able to enjoy football. That was a big thing for me.
Nice. Okay, where did you train to become a coach? Or who did you train with, shall I say?
I've done my FA Level 1 and I've got my UEFA C coming up this summer as well, which I'm really looking forward to. And I've also been really lucky to work with some fantastic other coaches, particularly in with South London Laces, to be able to kind of learn from other coaches as well, which has been fantastic.
Lovely. Okay, you just said, I was going to ask you, how long have you been coaching? You said 10 years, right?
Yeah, 10 years on a kind of weekly basis. Yeah, so quite a long time now.
Lovely. Do you have any experience coaching other sports?
No, not at all. Actually, it's just football. I play a bit of golf and maybe teach my dad a couple of things on that, but I can't say I'm a coach when it comes to that, without a doubt.
When it comes to that, cool. All right then. Which football coach would you say most influenced your shape of coaching style?
Well, that's a really good question. I've probably learned from a few people over the years. I mean, who doesn't want to say Pep?
Yeah.
Why not? But this season, being a Spurs fan, I've really enjoyed watching kind of Big Ange and the way that Spurs have been playing. And I've been trying to think about flying fullbacks and inverted fullbacks with South London Laces and really sort of attack-minded, pressing play and being really positive with it. It wasn't quite the same when Jose Mourinho was the Spurs coach. I wasn't so impressed by that.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, which club do you dream of coaching and do you support them?
Yeah, it would be Spurs. Every single day. I know that's a problem in this podcast potentially, but
no, don't worry. It's all good. We grassroots right now. We fair ground. Don't worry about it. Next question: do you have any pre-game rituals or superstitions as a coach?
I always like to get there early. I'm normally one of the first people at the ground, particularly for a home game, and I like to get myself a coffee and just have a 15-minute kind of quiet period. That helps me settle into the moment, make sure I've got everything sorted. I'm good to go. So yeah, getting there early and having that cup of coffee really sorts me out.
Cool. So nothing too crazy. No inside out socks or anything.
No, nothing like that. Try and avoid that. Superstition's bad luck.
Cool. All right. Next up, what would you say is your coaching philosophy?
I'd say my coaching philosophy is one where I want the players to enjoy themselves as much as possible. Of course, that like when you're winning, that's great. But regardless, I want training and match days to be like the best days of people's week. So I try and make it a really positive environment, one where people have been challenged and learning, but hopefully they find it like the funnest day of the week as well.
Lovely. Excellent. Okay, based on your experience, what qualities are best for a team captain, and who is your team captain?
We've got two captains, Flaws and Rage. And I think you need to have a couple of things to be a good captain. Like, I think kindness and empathy and understanding what your fellow players are going through is really important, and being a really clear communicator as well. It doesn't necessarily, and often isn't, like the best player in the team, but someone you can really communicate well, and be a good link between the coach and the team as well is really helpful.
Cool. Excellent answer. Lovely. Okay. You have niche coaches and you have all-round coaches. Which do you believe is best for a team, and which would you say you are?
That's a good question. I mean, at the moment, I'm the only coach of the team, so I've got to be a bit of an all-rounder. We've had a few other coaches join me this year, which has been great. It's a big shout out to Saf and Em, who does a lot of coaching within the club as well. So I say I'm a bit of an all-rounder. I think that's important at grassroots level. We also have a goalkeeping coach who's fantastic.
Nice.
And I could never be a goalkeeping coach. That doesn't make barely any sense to me. I watch her do her stuff and I'm like absolutely blown away by it. I'm a bit of an all-rounder.
So has the goalkeeper coach, was she, or did you say she?
Yeah, she. Yeah.
Was she there before you, or did she come after?
She joined afterwards, actually.
Okay, so there was just like you did your best for the goalkeepers, I'm guessing.
I was doing my best, yeah. I'd be like, what warm-ups would you like to do? And let them lead me.
Yeah, cool. Lovely. Last two questions in this block. What do you think makes a great coach?
I think, again, that kind of kindness and empathy, being a good communicator, understanding that players have like so many different experiences in their football career when they come to you, and just trying to make them be the best they can be and enjoying themselves as much as possible.
Lovely. So you'd say it's more about the management than it is like tactics and stuff.
Yeah, for me, that's a really big part of kind of what I'm trying to do as much as anything. But yeah, of course, you need like good people to understand what their role is on a match and what they should be working on in training. Yeah, of course, that's really important as well. But I kind of feel like in some ways anyone can learn that to a degree. But if you don't come in it with the right kind of mindset for how you're going to work with people, then it's going to be really difficult for you.
Lovely. Okay, last one in this block. Any future plans or goals as a coach?
Well, Laces are currently in a cup semi-final this Sunday coming, so that's a very immediate plan to try and get to the final. But for me, it's just to keep enjoying it as much as I possibly can. I'm really excited to do a new qualification this summer and get that under my belt and see what learnings I can do from that. But yeah, just keep it exciting, keep it fresh, and keep trying new things with it as well.
Lovely. Excellent. Okay, that's the end of that block. We're going to take a little break, come back, just going to have a little intro, fly through, and we're going to play Would You Rather. Here we go.
It's down to a T, minus the milk and 2 sugars. Easy. Take a good look. You can see it's a good look. Take a good look. You can see it's a good look.
Okay, so I've got 16 of these. So how I do them is you can just give an answer or you can explain yourself. Yeah, it's up to you. So first one is Emma Hayes or Harry Redknapp.
That is a tough one for me. I'm a big fan of Emma Hayes and all the work that she's done. But I watched Harry at Spurs and we had some really great times with Harry. So I think reluctantly I'm going to have to go Harry Redknapp.
Cool, lovely. Next one, Klinsmann or Greaves?
Oh, that's another really tough one as well. You made these stinkers. Jimmy Greaves is possibly Tottenham's greatest ever player, but Jurgen Klinsmann, I think I was about 10 years old when he arrived at Spurs and he was my hero. So I'm going to go Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah, Klinsmann, man. All right, next one is original R9 or CR7?
Original R9 for me.
Original, I know.
World Cup '98. I fell in love with football watching him.
Excellent, definitely. All right, next up, we got academy football or grassroots.
This is a grassroots podcast. I'm a grassroots manager. It's got to be grassroots all the time.
Got to be grassroots. Okay, next up, we got be one of 6 coaches at a high end level or be the head coach at grassroots level.
That's a tough one. I don't think I'd change what I'm doing now for anything, to be honest. So I'll stick with being the number one at a grassroots level team.
Lovely. Okay, next up, we got keep VAR or get rid.
Get rid. Go on.
Get rid. You have a reason for that? Do you think is it stopping the celebrations? What's your issue?
Yeah, it stops the celebrations. That's the big thing for me. Like, football is all about those like moments where you score a goal and nothing else matters in the world. And now I find myself when I'm watching the games, like, I won't celebrate because this one might be chalked off.
Yeah.
And to me, that's football's most magical moment. And we're
scoring the goal. Yeah, no, I hear you. All right, here we go. Number 7, Spurs win the title and Arsenal win the Champions League or both win nothing.
Both win nothing.
Okay, next up, we're going to fly past that one. Bell or Kane?
Harry Kane has done more for Spurs, but it's got to be Gareth Bale. Watching him in his final full season at Spurs, I've never seen a player play football like that before. It was just incredible. As much as I love Harry, and I'm hoping Harry does a good job in the Champions League. I've just seen the draw.
I saw it. Yeah, I just saw the draw. It's like, here we go again. All right, next one. We got get praised by other players or other coaches. Should I say get praised by your players or other coaches?
I think I've got to choose my players. If they're happy, then I'm happy. So that's a good day for us.
Excellent. Okay, you kind of answered this already, but be an all-rounder coach or specialize in one area?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the all-rounder.
Yeah, if you had the option.
Yeah, no, I enjoy being an all-rounder. It means I can dip my toe into lots of different things, learn from lots of different areas. Maybe that'll change in the future. I don't know, but at the moment,
all-rounder. Lovely. Okay, travel to coach football or travel to watch football?
I've done both. I'm going to say travel to coach football. I've coached in Ghana, and that's been like some of the really special moments for me. So I've really enjoyed that.
Cool. All right. World Cup final or Champions League final?
Champions League final.
Champions League final.
Yeah, watching Spurs all these times, I've been to a Champions League final with Spurs. I'd really like them to go back and win it. I feel like that's one I'd need to tick off.
Cool. All right, here we go. Get a call from Ledley King or get a call from Southgate for a coaching job?
Oh, Ledley. It's got to be Ledley. The legend of White Hart Lane.
Work with Ledley. All right. Would you rather be an average coach with a good reputation or an elite coach with rumors of cheating?
Oof. I don't want to have cheating associated with my name, so I'll go for the average coach.
You go for the average coach, but good reputation. Lovely. Okay, last 2. You're down 2-0 at half time. Second half, do you shut up shop or do you throw everything at it?
Oh, we go for it.
Go for it.
We go for it. And laces, we comeback is in our name. We come back. We have epic comeback. So always go for it.
I like that one. Okay, last one in this block. Sunday morning on the sidelines or Sunday morning on the golf course?
If
it's a nice day for both.
I was going to say, if it's in the winter, it's on the sidelines. In the summer, I can't beat the golf course. But predominantly, it's going to be the sidelines.
It's going to be the sidelines, yeah? All right, lovely. Okay, we're going to come back and talk about your experiences. Here we go.
World where passion meets the pitch. This is Grassroots Gazette, from the ground up, uncovering football's true spirit.
Okay, first question in this block is, as a male coach, is there any difference, do you believe, in training women or training men? Is there any difference in football, obviously?
Yeah, I think most of it is the same in that you're trying to get the ball in the back of the net. That doesn't make any difference if you're a man or a woman.
Right.
But I think one of the big things that I've learned since coaching in the women's game is people often have a different journey into football than men, and they might have faced barriers in the past. We know that like sports medicine isn't as good for women as it is for men. The kit doesn't always fit right. It's difficult to get training space. So I guess mostly it isn't, but I also have to have an understanding of that. Some of the different challenges a woman footballer might face compared to a man, and being obviously empathetic to what's going through that, and being prepared to stand with my players and fight with them as well.
Oh yeah. No, I like that answer. That's good. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. Like, it's not about the two separate humans. It's about everything else that comes. Yeah, no, I like that answer. That's great. Okay, number 2 is, tell me about your first session with the South London Laces. How did it go? Your first session.
Oh, the first session, yeah, I remember doing like a switching drill. We had to get from like corner to corner with the boxes. But I was pretty nervous because, you know, it's your first session and you don't know what's going to happen with this. So just trying to get a few names under my belt so I could talk to people and try and be friendly and make that first good impression. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and you know, I've kept on going back for almost 4 years now, so it must have gone away.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Was it new members that you had, or was you the new person?
It was a bit of both. There were new players there. It was right at the start of the season. I remember I did my first training session, I think, on the Wednesday, and they made a friendly on the Sunday, and I didn't know anyone's name. I was like,
Calling shirt
we're going
numbers.
to tactics to work on here. Like, let's just go out and have fun. And there were new players there that day as well. But they're a big welcoming family. So it was all right.
Excellent. Okay, next question. Tell me about the best day you've had coaching at grassroots level so far.
Ooh, that's a good question. There's been lots of highs. I'd say even like a couple of weeks ago, when we won in the cup quarter final, that was just incredible. You know, the players just work so hard for each other, and they're there for the team, and the team always comes first with them. And that was a really special day. So yeah, that's been one of my top moments so far, without a doubt.
Excellent. All right, let's go to the other side of that. Could you tell me about the worst day so far that you've had? And what happened?
Yeah, I think the worst days are always where you might have to leave someone out of a squad because you've got too many players to choose from, and breaking that news to someone is always really, really difficult. That's one of the downsides of the job. I think the other thing as well is that whenever a player gets injured, like, there's nothing worse than a player knowing that they're not going to be able to play football for sometimes a substantial period of time. And kind of having to be there with them when you know all they want to do is play football. It's always super, super difficult.
I hear that. Okay, here's another one for you. Are there any misconceptions about being a football coach? I.e., oh, they only show up on game day and it's easy to do that job, and they must have another job. This can't be their job type thing. Is there any misconceptions that you'd like to clear up?
Yeah, I'd certainly say, this, you know, it's much bigger than just like training and on the game day. Even as like, you know, I'm a volunteer coach with Laces, but I kind of work on it pretty much every single day.
Right.
The week, either like speaking to players on a one-to-one level, like drawing up session plans, thinking about squad lists, doing other admin which comes with it. So I'd say it takes a lot of like work, I guess, behind the scenes, as much as anything else, rather than just sort of turning up at training and match day and sort of barking a few orders.
Run forward. That's it.
Yeah. I do that as well. But,
all right, cool. Next one. Sexism. As a male coach in a female club, have you had to deal with any sexism? If so, can you tell me about it and how it was dealt with?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I think you sort of see like misogyny and sexism in football kind of everywhere you look. You know, there's even been reports this week about kind of like female coaches and how difficult it is for them to get into the game. So yeah, we see that a lot. We're very lucky at Laces that we have like incredible leaders who are prepared to fight for all women in the sport, and we'll do that pretty much day in, day out. But you know, when it comes to men's football, like playing a football game you don't think of it as a political statement, but every time like a woman crosses over that white line, it is in this country, it is still a small political statement of just someone being able to enjoy the sport. So I think it's something that, to a larger degree, we're still fighting every single day. And part of that's within myself, about educating myself and being a better ally, and being a better advocate for the women's game as much as possible. And that's a journey that I'm happy to admit that I'm still traveling on and trying to figure out and understand and learn from the players that I coach as much as possible.
Definitely. So I know that because I know that the women definitely get sexism thrown at them all over the place. But so as a male, you haven't had any like, it should be a woman coaching them or anything like that. You've never got.
That's not something I've sort of had. If I always say, like, if the club decided that they wanted to have all women coaches, like, that's a perfectly respectable decision. It's not something I would sort of disagree with. And I think we need more women coaches in the game, both in the women's game and the men's game. As well. We're kind of missing out on almost 50% of the population, which kind of seems insane.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next question. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received about coaching?
I think one of the best pieces I've received is just to be yourself. Obviously, we can take influence from other coaches, but if you're not being authentic to yourself, it's going to come across that you're not being authentic. And that's the best way to build trust, is just to be yourself. And none of us are perfect, and that's okay. But yeah, be yourself and be who you want to be, both in coaching and in how you relate to people as well.
Excellent. Okay, next up, we've got team building. How important is it, and what is your favorite team building activity?
Oh, it's super important, because, you know, when times are good, it's fine, but when times are tough, you need to have that trust within the squad, with each other, believe in what you're doing. I mean, to be honest, like my squads kind of do the best team building stuff. I think they're all going out tonight, in fact, and going for a couple of drinks, and they cook each other dinner and share lifts and organise each other. So just kind of being there for each other is really important. They're all going on tour to Portugal this summer as well. I think it's about 80 players heading out there, so I'm sure there'll be a few stories after that. We'll probably know each other pretty well after a week on tour.
Oh yeah, definitely. Excellent. Okay, next question. What technology do football coaches use these days that you would love to have at grassroots level, and why?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I'd love to see like kind of proper heat maps and things like that for my players. That would be amazing. And like how many sprints they've done, that would be always a good one to compare as well. Yeah, I'd really love that. And also, like, you know, those like Opta stats as well, like how many successful passes, how many times they've broken the lines, all those different types of things as well would be amazing at grassroots level.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's nowhere to hide when you got those vests on,
Absolutely,
There's nowhere to go. All right, next question. Describe a time when one of your players wasn't putting in as much effort during a practice or during a game as everyone else. How did you resolve it?
Oh, that's a good question. That happens every now and again. I mean, I try and be trying to assume the best in people always. So if I do notice that someone isn't putting in an effort, sometimes it's because of an injury and they're trying to play through pain. And often, like I've said to several people, you know, when I've been coaching, well, if you're in pain, like, just sit out. It's better to sit out and rest rather than to take this, or it's something gone wrong today. But, you know, every now and again, you know when someone's being lazy, and they do need just a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of a rocket as well. So I'm not afraid to be like, come on, let's go. You can work harder than this. You can do it. But if it's just an individual by themselves, I normally like to go and have a little chat with them first before I kind of blast them in front of everyone.
Fair enough. Lovely. Excellent work there. Do you believe coaches shouldn't have favourite players, i.e., it seems clear to me that Southgate's one of his favourites is like Harry Maguire. Do you think a coach should have favourites, or should everyone be coming through on merit only, not what you have done type thing?
Yeah, that's a really difficult one. I guess someone else, what we might regard as like someone's favourite is, for the coach, is a player that they like trust to kind of get the job done that they've been asked to do. So it might depend on how we look at it. I try my best to treat everyone equally in the same way. You know, you might want to ask the players whether they agree with that or not. That's not for me to say. But I do think, particularly in a grassroots football club, it's different. Like we've got a big squad, and we succeed as a squad, or we fail as a whole squad. So we want to give everyone like a chance to play as much as possible, learn and contribute in their best way. So hopefully trying to be as fair as possible in that regard.
Lovely, excellent. Okay, what's the most challenging situation you faced so far as a coach?
Most challenging situation. I think some of the most challenging situations have been when you've got to make tough decisions for a squad where you've got 21, 22 players available some Sundays, and you can only put 16 in the squad. It's really, really difficult to say no to people when all they want to do is play that game on that Sunday. But I try and remind myself that a season is long, and if you're not being picked this week, I can almost guarantee that I will pick you next week, and we'll try and rotate that around. But that's not easy. I find that a real challenge. It's hard.
Cool, yeah, and that's coming up every week, so you're faced with that every week.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. All right, we've got 2 more in this block. So, 3 more. What protocols do you follow to ensure the health and safety of your players during training? I'm guessing the game isn't really your responsibility. Is it like the leagues?
Yeah, a bit of both. I mean, you have the referee on game day. We always have our medic kit with us. We always make sure that we're sort of looking after people's health, doing a really good warm up, getting people nice and warm is always important, warming down as well. And again, having that mentality of saying to people, you don't need to kind of play through pain. If something's not feeling right, let's just take a moment and think about that. We don't expect you to, you don't need to prove anything to me in regards to your fitness. So let's take it slow.
Let's take it slow. Excellent. Okay, last 2 questions. What's your take on fair play? What does it mean to you, and how do you ensure that your players embody that?
Yeah, I think we all want to have like high levels of integrity and be able to kind of look back and be proud on how we've behaved in regards to the opposition, and of course our own team and the referee and fellow coaches and things like that. So we do try and instill that. Don't get me wrong, there's match days where you're really in the moment, and sometimes it's difficult to remember that. But I do try my best, and I try and remind the players of that as well. But yeah, I'm not going to sound perfect when it comes to that.
Yeah, no one is, especially as you say, in the heat of the moment. Definitely. Okay, last question in this block. You're at a game and the opposition coach is taunting you from across the field. What do you do?
Has
this happened?
Yeah, it does happen. As if maybe 1 or 2 coaches for the opposition teams that I'm not best friends with. Let's put it that way. I think the best way is to ignore it. It really is important to try and do that and concentrate on your own team. If I'm having an argument with the opposition coach, I'm not coaching my players. So trying to remember that is the most important thing.
Excellent. Lovely. Okay, that's the end of that block. We're going to come back for a start, bench or sell game.
Tells a story, and every goal ignites a community. Welcome to Grassroots Gazette, from the ground up, where football finds its voice.
Okay, so I've got 15 of these. Some of these are mixed and some of them are Chelsea's only. So here we go. First up, we got Rashford, Saka and Sancho. Start, bench, sell.
I think I'd start Saka, undoubtedly. Bench Rashford and sell Sancho.
And sell Sancho. Okay, next up, we got Bellingham, Rice and Maddison.
I mean, how can you not start Bellingham at the moment? And I'd bench Maddison and I'd sell Rice.
I ain't mad at you. I know why. I ain't mad at you. Van Dijk, Silva, John Terry.
Van Dijk, start, bench Silva, and I'd sell John Terry. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Haaland, Kane, Andy Cole.
Start Kane, always. Best number 9 and number 10 in the world. I'd keep Haaland on the bench. I'm fine with that. I'd sell Cole.
Cool. Okay, next up we got Solskjaer, Defoe, and Les Ferdinand.
Well, Solskjaer often came off the bench and did well, so I'd start him on the bench. I'd start Defoe, Tottenham hero, and unfortunately, Les, as much as I like you, you've been sold.
Cool. Next up, we got Tevez, Costa, Berbatov.
Ooh, start Berbatov. Liquid footballer, absolutely beautiful human being. Bench Tevez.
Sel Costa.
Sel Costa, yeah. Another angry man.
We got Zola, Fowler, and Owen.
Ooh, I think I start Fowler, one of the great finishers. Zola on the bench, I'd sell Michael Owen. If he hasn't got the speed, then
yeah. Like that. If he hasn't got his legs, yeah, all right. Vardy, Robin van Persie, or Sheringham?
We'll start Teddy, Super Teddy Sheringham. I'd bench Van Persie.
Sell Vardy.
Sell Vardy, yeah.
Cool. Next up, we got Carrick, Essien, and Roy Keane.
Well, start Michael Carrick. I think I'd bench Essien. As I said, I spent a lot of time in Ghana, and Essien is a real hero out there. So I'd have to sell Roy, unfortunately.
Sell Roy. All right, here we go. This is the Chelsea section. So we got Ashley Cole, Cahill, or Gallas.
Oh boy. As much as I hate to say this, I'd have to start Ashley Cole. He's a footballer and a half, and then bench Gallas and sell Cahill.
Sell Cahill. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next we got Wright Phillips, Essien, and Ballack.
Start Essien. I think he's a wonderful footballer. Bench Ballack and Wright Phillips would be on the chopping block.
Cool. And Nelka, Torres, Giroud.
So I shouldn't be as being a Spurs fan, but I'm a big fan of Giroud. I'd start Giroud. I think he's a wonderful and has been a wonderful footballer and still is. And Anelka, and who's the third one?
Torres.
I think Torres, by the time he got to Chelsea, I think I'd be selling him and Anelka on the bench.
Cool, lovely. Last two coming up. Got Mata, Oscar, and Moses.
We'll start Mata, sell Oscar, and bench Moses.
Nice. Okay, here's the last one. Mason Mount, Fabregas, Willian.
I think I'd start Fabregas, a truly wonderful footballer, bench Mason Mount, and sell Willian.
Excellent. That was smooth. Okay, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the South London Laces a little bit.
Dreams, every moment is a victory. Welcome to Grassroots Gazette, from the ground up, where football's journey begins.
Lovely. Okay, we've got 10 questions in this block. Yes, we have 10 questions. Okay, first one. How long have you been a coach at South London Laces?
Just finishing my 4th season with the club.
Lovely, 4th season. Which team within the club do you actually coach?
I coach this. Yeah, we've got 4 teams at the club now. Like, the growth has been unbelievable at Laces. Yeah. When I joined 4 years ago, there was 1 team, and now there's 4 nice. 4 squads, and we've got a big old waiting list as well, so we could do even more space. But I coach the Spartans, which is in the London League.
Lovely. Okay, is this your first team that you've coached?
No, this is my 3rd club. So I coached at Balham, and I coached the women's football club at the London School of Economics, and now at Laces. So yeah, my 3rd club.
Excellent, lovely. Okay, where did you finish last season, and are you happy where you finished this season? I know it's not over. I think you got 2 more games.
Yeah, right? We got 2 more. We finished 4th last year, which was a really good result for the club. And if we win our games this year, we'll finish 4th again. But as I said, this year we've had these big cup. We've had a couple of really good cup runs as well. So yeah, we're really pleased with what we've done this season.
Excellent. Do the founders, is it Em and Beth? Do they play for your team?
Yeah, they play for my team. So we've got a funny relationship. I'm managing them some days of the week, and then they're managing me for the other.
Yeah, that's great.
But we got on well, so it works okay.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, cool. Tell me about your first game. Did it go as planned?
With South London Laces?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first game was, as I said, was a friendly. And I didn't know any of the players' names. I'm pretty sure we got a draw out of it, maybe 1-1. Okay. Maybe a 1-0 win. I can't quite remember actually. But for me, that was just trying to learn a few names and a few positions and what we could do going forward. But it was a lot of fun.
Lovely. Okay. I've got to tell me about your best day, but I think you really did that really. Yeah, you did that really as a coach. Who in your opinion is the best coach at South London Laces?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's got to be Em. She's not like officially coaching any of the squads, but she's our kind of equivalent of like director of football. And so whenever we've got a question, we go to her and run it through, and she gives us lots of tips and resources and advice. So yeah, Em's an incredible coach.
Excellent. Okay, last one. Well, one of the last ones. If the South London First Club came knocking, would you switch? Would you be thinking about switching?
No, not a chance.
No, they're the rivals, right?
Absolutely, not a chance. I wouldn't be allowed back. You're watching my back forevermore in South London.
That's crazy. Also, little side question. You got a five-a-side team. Have you ever taken part or coached them?
No, they run themselves, and that's great. They don't need a coach
themselves.
down there.
Yeah, I heard that it's like that's more fun than it is.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and they just came home with a load of cups as well, so they don't need my coaching. They're successful in their own right.
Excellent. All right, that's that one. We just got one more block, my friend, and then we are done. One more.
Fields to the beating heart of the game. Join us on Grassroots Gazette, from the ground up, where football thrives.
Sorry, my bad. We've got two more blocks. So this is second to last block. This is about just random questions. Here we go. First one is, how do you deal with players who dislike or don't do much in training, but when it's time for the game, they're amazing?
Yeah, you do get a couple of players like that. Do you know, although I say that, like, I've seen players like that, but we don't really have that with Laces. I think we have a really like positive environment in training, and everyone really does work hard, and there's a little bit of friendly competition within that as well. There's a lot of respect across the team, but they all want to work really hard. And I know we were saying earlier about those like vests which kind of track people, but they've all got their smartwatches, and they at the end of the game they're like, at the end of training they're like, I've run 7K this week, or I've burnt this many calories, and so there's a little bit of competition there. So I can't say any of my players are like that. They work super hard in training and then turn up and perform on match day as well.
Excellent. Lovely. Okay, next question. What aspects of football do you mostly get excited about? Like, what's about football that does it really for you?
Yeah.
Is it the coaching, or is it like, the game? It might be
I have to say, I probably prefer game day, but there's nothing better than like seeing something that you've been practicing in a training session appear on game day. That is like,
and work as well. Yeah,
and work, absolutely. That's that's always a really satisfying thing. Or seeing a player, for me as well, like as I said, like working, that kind of one-to-one relationships with players and seeing them achieve like what they can achieve is really, really satisfying as well. I love that.
Yeah, I bet, definitely. Okay, next question is, how would you deal with a ball hog who just also happens to be one of your best players, if not your best player? How would you deal with that? I know you might not have that situation, but how would you deal with that situation?
Yeah, that's difficult. I guess you want to educate them that this is a team game as much as anything else. And sometimes if you give the ball away, you might get it back in a better position. So thinking about it from that aspect would be the best way.
Would be better, yeah. I used to remember thinking about like when I was at school, there used to be always like one or two guys who could just run through the team, score.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that's cool, but this is a team game, man. Pass the ball. Yeah. But all right, okay. Next question: who do you believe has the hardest job in football? The players, the officials, managers, coaches, or owners?
Ooh. Not the owners, I don't think. I think it probably is the officials. Like, and again, particularly at grassroots level, like you don't get paid very much. You come along for an hour and a half. You might not have the nicest experience of people sort of trying to persuade you in different directions.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go home by yourself as well. Like win, lose or draw, we'll go and socialise afterwards, maybe visit the pub or something like that as a team. But if you're the official who's coming along by himself or by herself, you kind of go home by yourself as well. And that's hard. So I think the referees are a real tough job.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because they don't. It's literally just the one ref in it. They don't have a team. It's not a team that comes with them because it's a grassroots level. Yeah, no, I understand that. Okay, next question. If a player's partner or family member approaches you after the game and they're upset about something, how would you manage that situation?
Well, when I was coaching at Balham, I was coaching the kids
Okay,
teams there. So
there we go.
you're managing 15 players, but also 30 parents, and they are some difficult conversations. But I'd say maybe my door is always open. Perhaps if you're upset right now, right in the heat of kind of just the game's finishing, maybe now's not the best time to talk. But let's find some time to find the best way for the player that you care about. You know, parents and partners and friends, like they only care about the people that they love. I understand that, but maybe it's best to do it a couple of days after the scenario is passed.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Would you say it was more when it's the kids and parents than
Oh yeah,
adult? Yeah.
oh 100%. Yeah,
Get what I mean? I have a boyfriend rolling up.
yeah. We don't get that so much. We've got a lot of fans who come and watch us. We call them the Flaps, and they're brilliant. We love to have people come along and support us.
Excellent, lovely. All right, next question. Describe your process when developing a new game plan. How do you go about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I try and do a lot of my thinking in the off season, so in the summer, and then we develop player shapes, like formations, how I think it's going to work. Of course, you tweak that throughout the season with things that are going really well or things that you think could be worked on. But even like last summer, we moved from kind of 4-4-2, which we really played, to a 4-3-3. So I spent a lot of the summer thinking about individual responsibilities within those systems, like what I want players to be doing, how I want them to learn and be with this. So I think, again, that's a bit of the prep work that has to go in, and kind of using your imagination as well. That's a real fun part of the job for me.
Definitely. Okay. From your point of view, I know we talked about this a little bit, but how bad do you think it really is for referees at grassroots level? From what you've witnessed and experienced, how bad is it really? Because I'm hearing that they're soon going to have cameras on and all that kind of stuff because they're getting attacked and all this kind of business. I think it's mainly Sunday league and in the men's game, but
yeah,
from your experience, does the
yeah,
referee have it that bad?
I do think it's really bad, and again, I've seen parents go after referees and things like that, and you're like, this is like an under-11s game.
Yeah,
In the grand scheme of things, it is only a football match. It's not that important. So I think there's a lot of pressure. I also feel like referees should have many more mentoring opportunities, and have other officials come along to support them and offer advice and be with them on match day to kind of give them that, to help support them as much as anything. So yeah, I think it's a real problem in the game, and we need more referees because they're hard to find. We need more, and we need to respect them and thank them for the work that they do.
Excellent. Okay, next question. Men manage women's teams in the WSL. Do you think or believe a woman could manage in the men's game, i.e., see like Emma Hayes? She's done so well at Chelsea. I know she's going away to manage the women's American team, but do you think she could manage the Chelsea men team type thing? Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, 100%. And I hope certainly long before I'm not here anymore that we see lots of women in the men's game as well. As I said, if you're restricting yourself to 50% of the population, you're instantly missing out on talent and ability and passion,
ideas and everything. Yeah,
exactly. And we saw that 15 or 20 years ago, even less. You'd have no pundits who are women. And you look at all the incredible pundits that are women now. They do such a brilliant job because they're passionate about football, and it doesn't matter if they're men or women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I definitely hear that. Okay, next question. Tennis has mixed doubles. Do you think there's a place for a mixed football tournament, i.e., Son and Beth England running down the wings together?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Sport, it's just a game of football, and you see lots of the development of lots of 5 and 7-a-sides, which is mixed genders, and I don't see why that can happen on an 11-a-side either. I think that's fun.
I've been thinking about it for so long. I'd like to see, because I'm an Arsenal guy. I'd like to see the Arsenal men and women playing in the same thing. But the only thing that deters me off is when the tension comes, when it gets heated, all the sizing up and all that, it won't look good. A man sizing up to a woman or
Yeah,
even taking her out in a challenge. The image won't look good. But I still
yeah,
think it would be a good game. But who did I speak to? I spoke to Lauren. She plays for you guys, and she said maybe if it's like a friendly tournament, like instead of the charity shield, having like a charity shield tournament, so no one takes it that seriously that they're taking each other out and stuff like that. Then I think all right, okay. But I think if tensions rise and it's
yeah.
about the badge and it's about money, it could get a little ugly.
Yeah, and I can see that, but I guess that's maybe something just for the game in general that we want to try and get rid of that
Try and get rid
aggressive
of it.
and violent behaviour from all areas of the game. But yeah, I think it'd work, and I think maybe start it with that kind of friendly tournament and see how you go. But I think there'd be
Yeah,
a lot of
ease the way
interest.
in.
And it'd
Yeah.
be a lot of fun as well.
Excellent. Okay, so we're on the last two questions of this block. Say you're talking to a new coach. What advice would you give them? Like, what's the most important? What's the most important for them to know before they start in this career of coaching?
Yeah, we've had a few new coaches join Laces over the last couple of years. Quite a few of them are players in the club, which has been brilliant. I think, as I said earlier, kind of being yourself is really important. Know that you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's okay. That's the only way to learn. It's not going to be perfect from day one. You can have some really challenging moments, but you're also going to have some really good highs as well. So yeah, be open, be who you are, be authentic, and build a relationship with your players, because that's really important.
Lovely. Okay.
Enjoy it as well. Have fun.
Enjoy your job. Yeah, straight away. All right. Last one in this block. What is your process for staying up to date with new rules and regulations?
Ooh.
Or do you get given them, or I don't know?
No, we don't get given them. I guess in the league, if there's like regulations about like substitutes and whatever that might be, then yeah, we have to obviously stay up to date with that. I guess in the wider game, the handball rule seems to change every 20 minutes. So I guess I'm trying to figure that out myself. And I don't know, even just watching Match of the Day or the highlights of the women's game, WSL can be the good thing, just to keep on top of what's going on.
Right. See. Okay. Yeah. So you just basically just got to keep watching.
Yeah.
Keep watching
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. No, I hear that. All right. Lovely. Last block coming up. We've got 10 more questions. Last block.
Fields to the beating heart of the game. Join us on Grassroots Gazette, from the ground up, where football thrives.
All right. So this is another little mix of questions. Here we go. First up is, what is your greatest strength as a coach, would you say?
Well, again, it's better to maybe ask other people
Ask
that.
the players.
I think I do have quite good levels of empathy and understanding of kind of where people are and where they're coming from, and trying to be kind through that. And I hope they'd say the same.
Lovely. All right. We'll go to the opposite side. What is your greatest, but what is a weakness that you're working on, shall we say, that you're going to work on, or that you feel that you need to work on as a coach?
Yes, something I have worked on, particularly since I've been at Laces, is like thinking about how I can make that connection between like training and match days, and like what drills I design to make sure I can see on a match day those things play out. And that continues to be something that I want to work on. And that's one of the reasons I'm really excited for doing my UEFA C badge this summer as well.
Excellent. Lovely. Can you give me 3 words that that describe you? 3 words.
3 words that describe me. Passionate, kind, and I'm going to say calm as well. I'm quite a calm manager.
Nice. That's good for a coach. That's good. All right. Next one. What gets you excited about coaching grassroots football?
I think one of the great things is we love the sport, and it really is the same whether you are kind of doing grassroots or playing in front of 80,000 people or whatever it might be. The sport is the same, and you can see like great moments, and anyone can be a hero in that moment, and they can try their best. There's nothing better than in anything in life than just seeing someone give 100% and being the best that they can possibly be. I get a huge amount of pleasure from playing a small role in someone being the best that they can possibly be in that given environment.
Nice. Excellent answer. Love that. Okay. What unexcites you about coaching at grassroots level? Is there anything?
Or just the admin.
It's the admin
Filling
paperwork.
out the team sheets, doing all the match reports afterwards. Like the admin isn't. No one gets into football for admin, or very few people do anyway.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I've never even heard someone even bring up admin when it comes to football, but obviously you're the coach, so you know. Yep, there's paperwork too. Oh gosh. All right, next question. When you're nowhere near a football field, where can you be found?
Yeah, the golf courses can be a popular one. I love to travel, so you might find me on a plane. I'm very happy to be jetting out of the country at any
Or in an airport somewhere, heading somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Lovely, that's excellent. Okay, what is the best compliment that you've gotten as a coach so far?
That's a good question. Best compliment. I got told at Christmas by Beth and Em that I make players feel incredibly welcome and be like it feels like a home for players when they come to Laces, and that's partly through the environment that I've helped create. And that was very special to hear that. I really appreciated it.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna go left here real quick. What is your favorite curse word, if you have one?
Ooh, I'd probably say shit. That's my go-to.
Cool. Lovely. All right, last two questions. Here we go. What profession other than your own as a football coach would you like to attempt?
I think my favorite one, and I do a bit of it on amateur, would be like a photographer. I love photography.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, here's the last question of the day. What one thing would you change about the football industry today? You have the power to do it. It happens right now. Bang. What are you changing?
Well, I mean, I could think of a few, but I think, especially the topic that we were speaking about today, I think equality across the genders for accessibility into sport, better pay for women players, women coaches, space for them to train in properly, proper research into medical science and the women's body and how it differs from the men's. So yeah, as much equality and accessibility to football for anyone across the world.
Lovely. That is excellent. Okay, I'm going to leave you with you got a minute or up to you, whatever you want to use to say anything that you want to say, promote volunteer work or anything like that. I'll give you the floor. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Thanks so much. I mean, I'd say to anyone, like, if you want to feel good about yourself and connect to your community, then volunteering is possibly the best thing you can do. It could be within football. It could be anything that you're passionate about. And there's no better way of kind of meeting people, figuring out who you are, and being part of a community as well. But football, and particularly women's football, is crying out for people to volunteer to make a difference. So get in touch with your local club, get in touch with South London Laces. We'd love to work with you and enjoy it as much as possible too.
excellent. Appreciate you, Dave. That was excellent, man. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me on.
Lovely. All right, we out of here, people. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.
Joining us on Grassroots Gazette. From the ground up. Remember, the spirit of football lives within us all. Until next time, keep the passion alive and the dreams soaring. This has been Grassroots Gazette. From the ground up.